actually present in the case of multiple bond. Electromeric effect is only possible when the organic compound has a multiple bond and only in the presence of attacking reagent. That is why we say it's a temporary effect. It's not happens every time. Only in the presence of an attacking reagent it operates. So it's actually sharing transfer of a shared pair of electron to one of the atom in the multiple bond on the presence of an attacking reagent. So we explained positive and electromeric effect as Siddharth was correctly explaining. In the case of positive electromeric effect mean the electron transferred happened in which carbon? On the same carbon atom the reagent is attacking. Both is happening on the same. The electron transfer is happening and the reagent is also attacking on the same carbon. This is when you have a positive reagents or an electrophiles. And negative electromeric effect mean the electron transfer is happening, but the attack is happening into the next atom, not the same atom. That is what a negative electromeric effect. That means the electron transfer happened and the attacking reagent is not attached to the carbon where the electron transfer has happened. So this is how you can differentiate positive and negative electromeric effect. Then the last and the final one which we want to discuss is hyperconjugation. So in order to understand hyperconjugation, let me explain to you by taking an example. Then we'll come back to the definition. Okay. So we discussed about carbocation in the beginning part of this chapter. So let's revise about carbocation. What is the hybridization of carbocation? Carbocation means carbon with 3 bonds and the 4th bond is broken and there is a positive charge. This is the symbol representation of a carbocation. You have 3 bonds of carbon and the 4th bond is not there. Instead, you have to show a positive charge. So, what is the hybridization of carbocation? What is the hybridization of carbon in carbocation?
Ma'am, is it sp2?
sp2, very good. sp2 hybridization. Okay, that was a major difference we discussed in carbocation and carboanion. So here the hybridization is sp2 mean usually one s orbital, okay, then you have 3p orbital, but only s and 2p are involved in hybridization. That mean one of the p orbital is free. That is what my point is. In carbocation, the hybridization of the carbon is sp2. That means there is one p orbital which is completely free, or you can say completely empty. That is not involved in any hybridization or bonding. They are free. So that p orbital, as you can see over here, this is the p orbital of carbocation, which is free. Okay. So here electron delocalization takes place. Okay. So this is the structure of the molecule CH3, CH2 plus. So this is the carbocation with the positive carbon, and this is the substituent attached or the brand attached to the carbocation. So the meaning here what happens is like in a hyperconjugation effect, the CH bonds. The CH bonds are important in hyperconjugation. These CH bond electrons, these electrons present in the CH bond because there will be a pair of electron shared between carbon and hydrogen. So that electron will be delocalized to the empty p orbitals of the carbocation. So this is what happening during hyperconjugation. So if you read the statement, the positively charged carbon atom has an empty p orbital because the hybridization is sp2. So one p orbital is empty. So that is there for normal carbocation. And one of the CH bonds of the methyl group, that means this is this methyl group attached to the carbocation. In CH3, there are 3 CH bonds, but among them, one of them which is in same plane as that of the plane of p orbital of carbocation. This one and this one, just imagine that both are in the same plane. When it comes to in the same plane, what happens is like this electron of the CH bond will be delocalized to the p orbital. Then delocalization into the empty p orbital. The CH bond electrons will be delocalized to the empty p orbital. This effect is known as hyperconjugation. So here, what is the condition? You have a carbocation. That is the first case, but in the case of carbocation, where the hybridization is sp2 and there is one p orbital free. To that free p orbital, the CH electrons are being delocalized. So that is the first case of hyperconjugation. Then you might be thinking why it is not happening for a normal compound like CH3, CH3 ethane or methane. What is the hybridization in a carbon single bonds? What is the hybridization if a carbon is making single bonds?
Ma'am, sp3.
sp3. When carbon makes a single bond, the hybridization is sp3. That means there is no p orbital empty. So in that cases, you won't be able to explain, or there is no effect. Hyperconjugation effect is possible. Because for a hyperconjugation, there should be minimum one p orbital attached or present next to a CH carbon. That is next to a methyl group or an alkyl group. Right? So this is what during the hyperconjugation, this is what happened. Electrons of CH bond shift to the empty p orbital of the neighboring carbon. It could be a carbocation. There is second case where we will discuss it later. But the first case is like hyperconjugation and carbocation. Am I clear what is happening during hyperconjugation?
Ma'am, does the CH bond break?
This is what happens. You can see if you want to show it like a bond line representation. This is the carbocation with a positive charge. Okay. And to this carbon, one of the electron CH bond will be given its electron. So what happened? There is a double bond formed between these two carbon and the CH bond is no more there. Right? That bond is not there because that electron was given to the carbocation, that carbon with the positive charge. So here, this kind of stabilization is more effective than inductive effect because here the positive charge is completely disappeared. Positive charge is completely removed or disappeared from the carbocation. So these kind of effect will be more influence or more effective in explaining the stability of different carbocations. So you can see in the first moment, this carbon hydrogen bond is disappeared and has been given to the carbocation. Next possibility is that this bond can be electrons of this CH bond is given to the carbocation. The third possibility, CH bond, this CH bond electron is given to the carbocation. That means more the number of CH bonds, more hyperconjugation effect. Hyperconjugation is possible. So this is the carbocation. That is what you need to look into. So next to the carbocation, on the carbocation you have a CH bond. That is not influencing. The same carbon hydrogen bond, that is not influencing. You need to look into the number of CH bond in the neighboring group. This is the carbocation. On carbocation, you have a CH bond. That is not an important thing. But the CH bond in the neighboring carbon, That is what will be undergoing hyperconjugation with the p orbital of carbocation. Am I clear?
Ma'am, so does that form like all these resonance structures?
This is known as hyperconjugation structure. This is not a resonance because you cannot say that there is a shift in the double bond or something. It is just like a formation, just a transfer of electron from one bond to the empty p orbital of the carbon atom. So this is known as hyperconjugating structures.
All right, ma'am.
Okay, I'll come back to this point after defining
Ma'am?
it. Yeah. Yes,
No,
Prasanna.
I was about to ask to show the hyperconjugation slide.
Yeah, so because after understanding this, how it operates, now it will be very easy for you to define the concept. So this is basically for stabilizing, because you can see the positive charge of the carbocation is disappeared, mean you're stabilizing the carbocation. So hyperconjugation is a very important thing in stabilizing, especially carbocation. So this is a stabilization interaction. It involves, so really what happens is like it is the delocalization of the CH electron, CH bond of an alkyl group. Okay, the CH bond of an alkyl group, that electron will be transferred to either to an unsaturated system or to a unshared p orbital. Okay, so it could be hyperconjugation is possible when you have a double bond or a triple bond, or you can have a carbocation where you have a p orbital. So what is the hybridization of carbon in double bonds? What is the hybridization of carbon in double bond? What is the hybridization? Carbon-carbon double bond mean what is the hybridization of carbon?
Ma'am, is it sp2?
sp2, and carbon-carbon triple bond is sp. If it is single bond, this is sp3. So there is no p orbital left. In double bonded carbon mean there is hybridization is sp2. So you have one p orbital free. In triple bond, you have hybridization is sp. So the what you can say, there are two p orbitals which is free. So basically you can see hyperconjugation is possible when a CH alkyl group is present next to a system where you have an empty p orbital. That empty p orbital is maybe due to the unsaturation, that is double bond or a triple bond, or it could be like due to the effect of carbocation or any other species like that, where the hybridization is not sp3 and your p orbital is free. There is unshared p orbital. That means a p orbital which is not involved in hybridization. That is what an unshared p orbital. So you either need a unsaturated system, that is a double or a triple bond, or you need a system where there is a minimum one p orbital is unshared. That is not part of hybridization. So this is basically, we meant this like carbocation, where you have a unshared p orbital not involved in hybridization. So hyperconjugation is explained in two categories. One thing is especially in the case of carbocation, where there is a p orbital, empty p orbital is there, and hyperconjugation is also operates when you have a double bond or a triple bond next to the CH alkyl group. Okay. So that is what you need to understand basically from hyperconjugation. It is the movement or delocalization of the CH electron either to the unsaturated system, that is the double bond or triple bond, or to the p orbital of empty p orbital of carbocation. So here what happened? The electrons of the CH bond entered in partial conjugation with attached unsaturated system or with the unshared p orbital. I hope this is clear now, the definition. As we discussed the example.
Ma'am, delocalization just means like it moves to the...
Yeah, delocalized mean it is restricted to certain area. See, localized mean if you have a carbon hydrogen bond, each one is sharing one electron, and these two electrons are localized to move between carbon and hydrogen. That means they are localized. They cannot move away from carbon and hydrogen. They can move, but within the area available between carbon and hydrogen atom. That is what mean by a localized electron mean. They are able to move, electrons are moving, but that movement is restricted to the certain area. Only to the area between the carbon and hydrogen. But delocalization means these electron is now coming out of it. Now they are moved to out of the control of carbon and hydrogen atom. That is what they meant by the term delocalization. That means they are now not localized or they are not restricted in certain area. That is the meaning of delocalization. Usually electrons involved in bonding mean they are localized. They are able to move only under the influence of these two atoms involved. So they are localized. But when an electron transfer happens mean those electron will become delocalized. They are coming out of that area. Is that clear?
All right, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, so this is what hyperconjugation, the shift or the delocalization of the electron of a CH bond either to a conjugated system, that is double bond or a triple bond, or you have a empty p orbital like in the case of carbocation. So we have taken the first example of carbocation over here. You can see the p orbital of carbocation and the CH electron that has been delocalized, and this is what you can show over here like this. Okay, notes are already uploaded, that's why I'm just moving little fast to complete this explanation. You can refer the notebook notes which is already uploaded. Okay, so in explaining the stability order of carbocation, the priority should be given hyperconjugation over inductive effect. Because inductive effect, we still know that the positive charge was there. It was not, it was just alkyl group was just pushing the electron just to decrease the positivity of carbocation. But in hyperconjugation, as we have seen, the positive charge of the carbon is completely disappearing. So hyperconjugation is more effective in stabilizing the carbocation. So if in the exam or in somewhere when you get a question about stabilization of carbocation, the first effect you should mention is about hyperconjugation. Then you can mention about inductive effect. Because compared to inductive effect, hyperconjugation is more effective in stabilizing the carbocation. This is more dominating over inductive effect. Okay, so how can you explain the stability order? That is, tertiary is more stable than secondary, which is more stable than primary in case of carbocation. On the basis of hyperconjugation, how you will explain? Can somebody give an answer?
Ma'am, by the number of alkyl groups, yeah. So when
Yeah.
it's tertiary means 3 alkyl groups, so it's more.
Yeah, or you can also say that number of alkyl group mean more CH bond, because in hyperconjugation definition, the electron delocalization of the CH electron. So more alkyl group mean more CH bonds. Okay, so that what you said is correct only, but you can just add one more word, because in your definition of hyperconjugation, we are basically using the term CH bond. So that also can be included in your answer. Greater the number of alkyl group, that means there will be more CH bonds will be there. Okay, that is what I always want you to make your class lecture notes, because many things will be said which is not there in the slide or the notes, to make your answer more perfect. So more hyperconjugation interactions is possible, which stabilizes the carbocation. So in tertiary, more alkyl group, more CH bond, more bonds, that mean more hyperconjugation interaction. But for secondary, there is only 2 alkyl group, so comparatively less hyperconjugation. And for primary, there is only 1 alkyl group, so comparatively even less hyperconjugation interaction. And for simple methyl carbocation, there is no hyperconjugation possible because there is no carbon attached to the carbocation. So here no hyperconjugation. So this is how you will explain hyperconjugation. You will explain the stability of carbocation using hyperconjugation. This is a very, very important, and I can tell you this is sure short question for your final examination. Sure, you can write it, mark it down. Sure, it will come for 3 marks on arranging this one. Maybe directly or indirectly by taking certain examples. But for sure, this question will come on stability of carbocation. So it is combination of hyperconjugation and inductive effect, but hyperconjugation is dominating over inductive effect. Am I clear? Any doubt in this?
Oh, ma'am, can you explain this again?
Yeah. Stability of carbocation on the basis of hyperconjugation mean when you take a tertiary, you have, I'm just showing all the bonds in tertiary, okay? So minimum 3 alkyl groups are there. I have just taken methyl just for the simple thing, but it could be ethyl or any other alkyl group. So you have 3 alkyl group in tertiary. So more alkyl group means there are more CH bonds. So more CH bond mean these electron can be given to the empty p orbital of carbocation. That is what hyperconjugation, delocalization of the CH electron to the empty p orbital of carbocation or any other system with empty p orbital, right? So here that electron can be given by so many CH are there, right? The CH, the CH, the CH.
Yes, ma'am.
So more alkyl group mean more hyperconjugation effect, more CH bonds are there. So more hyperconjugation effect mean that effect will lead to the stability, more stability of carbocation when it is tertiary. But for secondary, you have only 2 alkyl group. So there will be hyperconjugation but less hyperconjugation interaction compared to tertiary. And in the case of primary, there will be hyperconjugation, but the interaction will be comparatively less. So it decreases when you have less number of alkyl group or less number of CH bond on this alkyl group.
Ma'am, the alkyl group should be directly attached to the carbon with the positive charge.
That's what I said. If you have a CH and then carbocation, okay, with a CH, so these CH cannot do anything. It should be CH of the neighboring group. That is what the hyperconjugation is.
All right.
Okay. So we will discuss the hyperconjugation of double bond and triple bond tomorrow so that we can finish off this chapter and we can move to the hydrocarbon. So by meanwhile, take 1 or 2 days to complete the notes along with the 2 worksheets which is given as part of asynchronous lessons last 2 days like yesterday and Last week also 1 day was there asynchronous. So 2 worksheets were uploaded. So complete all these notebooks. I'll be giving you a link or a folder to upload your notebooks. Okay. It should be done. For organic, it should be pakka. It should be perfect with your notes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.